Oh man, Chicago. Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. Yo, the citizens that live in Chicago, if you guys see this video, I'm telling you right now, y'all should be pissed. Y'all should be pissed. And for those little dum dums, I want to say some words, but I'm trying to limit my cursing. For those little dum dums that want to protest ICE and all this other type of shit, look, the real stuff that y'all should be protesting, the things that y'all should be angry about, is this right here. Because I cheated. I looked at the article. I read through it. Welcome back, YouTube. It's your host, Bruce GNT, and we're here to talk about the Chicago Teachers Union apparently coming out with their audit that's 5 years too late. And there is a reason why they hid it for so long. And I'm not going to ruin the surprise. Let's jump right in. Chicago Teachers Union releases annual audits after 5-year delay. This is their president, Stacey Davis Gates. Yeah. So cute. So cute. The Illinois Policy Institute announced in a report that the Chicago Teachers Union released its annual audits following a 5-year delay, citing pressure from members, a lawsuit, a congressional inquiry, and a potential Department of Labor investigation. I find it crazy that they were able to hold off for 5 years and there was almost no repercussions, because you could just not give up your audit, showing where you're putting your money, the taxpayer money actually, and we could just keep funding you. That's insane to me. Crazy. According to the Illinois Policy Institute, the audits reveal adverse opinions from independent auditors due to material misstatements arising from the exclusion of activities related to certain foundations. The union's expenditures indicated that less than 18% was allocated to teacher representation, while political spending reached unprecedented levels. Leadership compensation surpassed $273,000, and additional expenses included over $173,000 for a recording studio in New Mexico. So in other words, what they're saying is that the true purpose of the Chicago Teachers Union was for teacher representation, but only 18% of the funds went to that. The other 82% went to fattening people's pockets, namely the president. $273,000 and a recording studio in New Mexico. Please tell me, what does a recording studio in New Mexico have to do with education in Chicago? Y'all don't know? Because I don't know either. I'm just wondering. That's what I'm wondering. I'm trying to figure that part out. WBEZ reported that since 2021, CTU spending on staff salaries increased by $4 million. In 2023 alone, political expenditures amounted to $3.8 million. These figures reflect ongoing concerns regarding financial priorities within the region's largest teacher union, where resources for representation activities are comparatively limited. I'm not saying that there's a connection, and I'm definitely not saying that there's some funky shit going on. But the mayor, Brandon Johnson, is still part of the Chicago Teachers Union, because he was a former educator, and there's been a lot of money spent for political advocacy and everything like that. He still has a lot of pull within the Chicago Teachers Union. I'm not saying that there's a connection. I'm just saying that, Defendant Education highlighted that both the American Federation of Teachers and National Education Association have directed over $220 million from member dues toward left-wing political organizations. This trend suggests that unions are prioritizing advocacy and contributions over core representational duties. Federal labor filings corroborate these allocations. Like I said, I'm not saying it, but it's right there. It's right there. The Chicago Teachers Union was founded in 1937 as Local 1 of the American Federation of Teachers and represents more than 30,000 educators and supports staff in Chicago public schools. It gained bargaining rights in 1966 and has been involved in negotiating contracts since 1967, participating in various labor actions. The union remains focused on member rights, working conditions, and educational policy within the district. Are they, though? Because what it sounds like to me is that this organization was used as a way to fund political parties, namely on the left, and put people in positions of power that would benefit the union itself. I'm not saying that's what's going on right now, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's a whole lot of fucking smoke. There's another article I want to go over, because to really put this into picture and really have people understand, especially the Chicago people, right? Because I don't think you guys are angry enough. Because I'm seeing some big numbers up here while y'all struggle, while your schools are struggling. The students are struggling. The parents are struggling. Your city is struggling. But people are enriching themselves. And y'all are not angry enough. And you know what? Maybe it's because you guys don't know what's going on because you're not paying attention to the news. Maybe it's because you're having people tell you all this nonsense in your ear about how, white supremacy and all this other type of shit while they're taking money from your pockets. And maybe that's what it is. CTU's leadership had been fighting to keep the audit secret for years, despite internal union bylaws requiring the audit's release. Like I said earlier, how is it that these organizations are still able to function yearly when they're not giving up audit? It should be required. Hey, you do not get any more money, and/or we will bust down your doors for these audits because y'all can't just keep taking money and we're not seeing where it's going. That doesn't make sense. The last time an audit had been released was September 9th, 2020, and it covered through June 30th, 2019. When a CTU member raised questions about missing audits, CTU President Stacey Davis Gates personally attacked the member, labeling the call for the release of the required audits a racist dog whistle. I'm gonna read that again. CTU President Stacey Davis Gates personally attacked the member, labeling the call for the release of the required audits a racist dog whistle. I've been saying this for a minute now. I love my people, but they had those bad actors within our community that are taking up the cause, right? And using this is racist, this is white supremacy to silence people that are asking genuine questions and or trying to hold them accountable. Because if we want to relate this to what's going on, like currently in the news, what's going on over there in Minneapolis when it comes to the Somali fraud and everything like that. And yes, I understand that the main person, or who they say was the main person, was a white woman. I get that. But the whole reason why people were keeping silent about it because they want to be labeled racist. It has gotten to the point that people are using the term and label racist to not be questioned on anything, even when there's wrongdoing, and now it's starting to lose its effect. It's getting to a point now when I hear someone say, "Oh, well, this racist thing happened. This racist," I don't even flinch now because now everything is racist. You question me, you're racist. Asking where the money's going, you're racist. This is where we are now. And the worst part about it, I'm not even saying if this didn't happen like this, it would make it better. But the worst part about it, they're stealing from other black people. Chicago is a predominantly black city and they're taking your fucking money. They're taking your money. And when you ask questions about it, you're racist. Y'all not angry enough about this shit, man. In the meantime, the union's failure to prioritize members has been demonstrated in the records. It files annually with the U.S. Department of Labor. Its 2025 filing revealed Chicago Teachers Union spent just 18 cents of every dollar on representing teachers in 2025. 80%, like we saw earlier, spending on representational activities. 82% spending on politics, overhead, and other union leadership priorities. Less than 18% of CTU spending was on representing teachers, which should be its core function. CTU doubled its political spending in 2025, reaching a new high. I'm not saying Brandon Johnson's name, I'm just thinking it. Davis Gates gave herself a raise, bringing her total compensation to more than $273,000, like we talked about earlier. Questionable spending included over $173,000 to a poolside recording studio in New Mexico. These people are playing in y'all goddamn faces and y'all just taking it. But let Trump say he bringing the National Guard to clean up the streets, or say he's bringing ICE to, take people out there that don't belong in the first place. Y'all niggas up there marching, talking about, we gotta defend our city, getting robbed blind. CTU members had reasons to be concerned about the union's finances. Finally, obtaining the union's past due audits proves those worries were warranted and that union leaders had something to hide. Yeah, they did. That's crazy. Y'all out there worrying about paying your property taxes, and they recording beats and shit in New Mexico, sitting by the pool. This is why I do this, because I feel like no one's talking about this right now. No one's like, this is on no one's radar. Y'all people in Chicago, y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to open your eyes. Y'all need to see how they are robbing you guys blind. And worse yet, laughing in your face while they say, yeah, those people over there, they're racist, white supremacists. Don't let them tell you anything different. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Crazy work. Well, you guys already know the drill. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Comment down below, tell me your thoughts. I don't even know what question to ask. If you're from Chicago, if you got people in Chicago, whatever have you, let them see this. Let them know what's going on, because this is insane. They are literally robbing you guys. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.